protection. Let the old folks go home by the corrections. I'ma stop because I know you're not hearing me. They gonna say he stayed talking conspiracy. I'm done. Y'all way brighter than me. Just keep your hands clean and take vitamin C.
The hell?
Late night. Warfare. On quarantine. It don't matter when you're doing God's will. Listen. Open your eyes to the lies. This shit is so foul, but I'm as wise as the old owl, plus the gold child. Welcome to the new world order. You think this shit wasn't playing if you wanted? They've been having the corona. Now they making the vaccine. Trump revoked the staff of that. You know what that means? It means he can declare martial law. All the rights you got, he can suspend them all. They shut you down the malls and call the social distance. Now you locked in your house with no resistance. For a sickness you got with no symptoms. You can have the corona, won't know the difference. Stock market crashing, supermarkets empty. Hope the food you got lasting. Hope you got cashing. I'm giving you facts, I'm not asking. This is the new norm, it's not passing. They stop classes, there's kids out of school. The news is lying, I'm not a fool. You gotta have discernment so you know it's real. He who creates the panic creates the pill. Just be still. You see the misdirection. Trump giving money so he can win an election. They create the panic and then overprotect.
What's up? What the heck is going on with this thing? What up? Hope you're enjoying your lockdown beginnings. I just want to know what is the end of this thing, because this is getting a little bit out of control, in my opinion. There's got to be an end game to this whole thing, because I'm like, how in the world is every city going step by step lockdown? I know we're supposed to be locked down come tomorrow, Monday. St. Louis City and County locked down on Monday, and we already had Illinois yesterday, the whole state. And it looked like Donald Trump just actually activated the National Guard for, New York, California, and Washington State. What is the real end game here? Is it just escalating little by little just to see how we react? I mean, because it looks like something's going to have to give eventually. What up, Butch? What up, man? Yeah, this and I'm just looking at this like it's something not making sense to me. California been on lockdown. You know it. Well, that was the first place. California, San Francisco was first, right? San Francisco, the city, was the first one. And then they did New York, and then did some other places. So it's like more and more it's gonna be us. Yep, Cali was the first. Exactly. It's like a test. It's like, what's next? Like, even if everything go right for the next, I don't know, 3-4 months, however long they say this is gonna go for, and say everything gets fixed up, are we in a real new world order for real? Is this when it changes over so that when the next pandemic happens, they know how to respond to it, and it's an automatic lockdown, or what the heck? And a matter of fact, let me see here. It said it even got the, let me see what he got here. He said, yeah, he's activated the National Guard in New York, California, and Washington State. Off the chain. So it's like, if more and more people getting activated, or more and more military getting activated, what's really going on? It got to be something bigger than this. And people saying, well, it's going to be martial law. If they were to do some type of martial law, wouldn't you think they would, do it at a state level first, kind of get you locked in first, and then do it? Not to try to scare anybody or anything, but it just ain't adding up to me. Let me see what he said in this press conference thing here.
Action to help New York, California, and Washington ensure that the National Guard can effectively respond to this crisis. The National Guard, these are tremendous people. They're fully on alert. We've signed what we had to sign, and it's been activated. We're dealing also with other states. These states have been hit the hardest. Actually, pretty much by far, you could say the hardest. Everybody can see that. Just look at the numbers. And through FEMA, the federal government will be funding 100% of the cost of deploying National Guard units to carry out approved missions to stop the virus while those governors remain in command. So the governors locally are going to be in command and will be following them, and we hope they can do the job, and I think they will. I spoke with all three of the governors today and just a little while ago, and they're very happy with what we're going to be doing because we'll be announcing some other things for those three states and some other states where it's hit the hardest. This action will give them maximum flexibility to use the Guard against the virus without having to worry about costs or liability, and freeing up state resources to protect the health and safety of the people in their state. The federal government has deployed hundreds of tons of supplies from our national stockpile to locations with the greatest need. In order to assist in those areas, I approved the state of New York's request for a major disaster declaration, something which Governor Cuomo has been asking for and which I agree, and we had it done in very rapid fashion. We approved this on Friday evening, and we are working very, very hard to get all of these things not only signed up, but completed and finished and win. The request from the state of Washington for a major disaster declaration was approved just a little while ago, went through the process, and we moved it quickly. The request from the state of California was just received, and we will have it approved very quickly. We'll be working. I told that to Gavin Newsom, and we're working on getting that done very quickly. It'll be done maybe tonight. We have large quantities of medical equipment and supplies on the way.
So he's basically got the National Guard to help out. And I saw the National Guard already here, a convoy, I think 2 days ago here in St. Louis, because, you know, I'm in South County near the Jefferson Barracks area. So I saw some military convoys already moving around. So it's not like it was a surprise that something, oh, yeah, we're going to get this thing going. Let's see here. I kept telling people, stop thinking the government is going to help you. You're on your own. Wake up. Exactly. Lion 314. You know, a lot of people thinking that the government can save you from every little thing. The government is not the answer. Self-preservation is the answer. Sometimes you got to, you know, do for yourself. Sometimes you got to do something outside of what you normally would do. Let's see here. Here too in Michigan. Oh, they got y'all locked down there too. Yeah, that's a lot of places locked down now, right? Let me see something here. Can I see how many places are actually locked down? How many places are quarantined? U.S. places are what do they put there? Landlocked. I don't need to know that. I need to know quarantine. They probably don't use that word though. Can you be forced to quarantine? People been asking. Wow. Yeah, can you be forced to quarantine? That's a good question. Although quarantines are considered to be a measure of last resort, police powers give states, counties, and even cities broad authority to impose them. Wow. Because I know they were talking about some of this stuff back in the Obama administration way back. That, you know, they're going to lock down, they're going to do this and that. Let's see here. America as you know it is over. And that's possible. It could be possible. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. Let me see here. They are going to call for 2-week lockdown after they get the troops in place and stop any looting from taking place. They have the Stafford Act that's been signed. Possible, Denise. Last week. They in New York already. Yeah, the National Guard's already been activated there, I'm sure. Exactly. Let's see here. They have been in Illinois since Thursday. Yeah, because they did that whole state. And I'm like, how you gonna lock down the whole state? What kind of craziness is that? And if anybody wants to join into this, there's a link in the description of this, not on Periscope, but on Facebook, YouTube, and whatever else I'm on. There's a link in the description. If you have something to say about any of this, you can join in. Let's see here. National Guard on lockdown tomorrow. Most of America is locked down. Yeah, I think they said about what, 40 million Americans or something like that, or some number that I saw on something. Let's see here. Because I know a lot of people died over in Italy. And I'm like, well, they don't want that to happen here, so they're going to take drastic measures and try to mess it up. What's up, Latasha? How they doing up in Chicago? I know they locked that down quickly. They're not playing around. So let's see here. Honestly, they should have locked down most states a week ago. Well, it's a process too, though. Even if they were to say, a national quarantine, do you really think they can nationally do it? They have to do it at a state and local level first. It's more, logistically, it's just not realistic to, stop a whole, everybody's life like that. Just stop everything in a heartbeat, just with the snap of a finger. It's a whole lot easier to do it piece by piece, city by city, state by state, location by location, because it's just easier, with it's 300 and something million people in America, just to shut it all down at one stop. I mean, it's definitely some type of, war, an invisible enemy. Let's see here. We will be fine in a couple of months. Things will return to normal. Maybe that's what we all would hope. Phoenix Fish. I would like things to be normal, but what is normal? After they go through this, they'll have experience to know that the next time some pathogen or some virus or any type of thing, any type of biological chemical warfare, say this could have really been set off by somebody for real. They try to say that, it was the U.S. military, but it's possible. I mean, I couldn't put it past it. I wouldn't want to say that, outright that it is. I don't have any evidence of it, but it's possible. Anything's possible. It sucks, but the piss poor preparation has us here. Well, I mean, how do you prepare for something like this? This isn't a normal thing to say, an invisible sickness, so-called, or invisible something that nobody really saw. I mean, they say that, China talked about it or whatever, but even if it was something, what could you really do? And President Trump actually tried to lock it down and say no travel from China, but they said it was racist when he did that. So, that goes both ways. No matter what, we want our cake and eat it too. We want to say, oh yeah, we can't do this, but we try to stop it. No, you're wrong for trying to stop it. So, you're wrong no matter what you do. So, I mean, I understand though, it is two sides to every story. Italy stopped giving respirators for those over 60 now. Oh, wow. I still remember when Trump said it was fake. Yeah, he said the news media's blowing up of it was fake. He didn't ever say, I didn't hear him say anything about saying that the coronavirus was fake. When I looked at it, when I saw the clip that people said that, he said it was fake. He said, yeah, the way the news is blowing it up was fake. Yeah, he did say that. So you're right. You're right about that. Let's see here. Curfew at 5 p.m. No gatherings over 10 to 59 people. No dining and just takeout. That's what it's in Chicago. Oh, that ain't too bad, I guess. Let's see here. Obama was better prepared for H1N1. I don't know. That's subjective. I mean, I guess you could say, but I don't know about that. I wouldn't agree with that fully, because something at this scale, nobody can be prepared for. It's something you don't even see. You don't even know if you got it. People walking around asymptomatic. You don't even know they have the coronavirus. You don't even know. You can walk into somebody right now, wouldn't even know it, at the gas station, at the supermarket, checking you out, the self-check scan. They don't even really know how it's transmitted. They think it's from touching stuff or not washing your hands. They think it could be airborne. I even saw some things saying it came from animals. I mean, they don't know really where it's coming from. Somebody know, but the masses don't know, and there's really no way to really stop it. So that's why I always ask that question of, what is the real end game? Is the end game to get a vaccine, or eventually everyone will get it, or to be on this quarantine thing? I mean, what's the real end game? Because it seems like you're going to either get it one way or the other. I mean, I don't know. Seems fishy to me. That's right, Lion. I prepared. That's right. You better be prepared. Food, water, beans, bullets, and whatever else you need, because you never know how bad this thing going to get. I believe it's man-made. Well, it's definitely man-made. I think it is. I mean, I would agree with that, Phoenix Fish. I believe it could possibly, it got to be man-made. Where'd it come from? Just out of nowhere, new strands don't pop up. Somebody was testing and it got out. Because I think they got movies and stuff about stuff like this happening already. And it's kind of weird that it's kind of similar to it, even though I don't watch much TV. Let's see here. I got water, canned foods, weapons years before it happened. That's right. You had to be prepared before. So all the people that were doomsday preppers looked like they were smart. Seemed like they were ready to go. You know, it don't seem like the other people were. Why not? Oh, you even got armor. That's what I'm talking about. I was long prepared. I told everyone, but nobody listened. Yeah. And like I said, I heard some stuff like this even back in the Obama administration. Somebody, yeah, they bring in the FEMA tents and preparing this and all of that stuff, you know. But it's all coming to pass eventually. That's what it looked like to me. Trump right media still blowing it up, in my opinion. Not that many people died from it compared to other pandemics. Yeah. Yeah, because how many people have died in Italy now? How many people died in Italy from coronavirus? Looks like there's been something that's been Googled a lot. Let's see here. Al Jazeera. Go over there and get their news. See, you're using that CNN too much. So you got to get your news from the world, from like 4 sources, and then verify. See if it makes sense. Let's see what they say here. Damn, that's a lot of deaths. 5476. Good night. And how did Italy become to be like so bad compared to other places? What was so special about Italy that made them get hit the hardest, other than China, the so-called epicenter? Because that's what Trump called it, right? A Chinese virus. There was previously a task force in place to combat a widespread of outbreaks of this nature. That task force was disbanded in the last few years. Yep, that would be a bad idea. You might want to keep this stuff together because, you know, this could be a true attack from another country. You know, I mean, a country could do that. Because I've been trying to figure out, what is Russia doing about this? I know we see what China's doing because it kind of, you know, supposedly started there. But what's the real truth of this thing? You know, you got to really look at the real big picture. And it happens to be in an American election year. Just happened to be on right on time on that, right? Something fishy going on there. Let's see here. Italy has surpassed China in deaths, and China hasn't had any new cases. And yeah, I saw that in 3 days. Let's see here. The death toll from the coronavirus pandemic continued its relentless rise in Europe on Sunday, with Italy announcing 651 dead in one day, bringing the total count to 5,476, with an increase of 13.5%, but down from the Saturday figure of 793 people died. Damn, they dying every day like that over there? Good night. That's a lot of dying. It's a lot of death. Let's see here. Italy pandemic. So yeah, what is it that made Italy so bad? That's what I want to know too. What made them like become the worst place ever? Did something happen? Let's see here. What they saying over here on CNN. Philadelphia announces a stay-at-home order. I saw something earlier that said Dallas County or Dallas, Texas announced a stay-at-home order. A lot of people announced a stay-at-home order. 2 police officers test positive for coronavirus in Chicago. That's not good. 31 minutes ago. So it do seem like, you know, it's like a big scare. But I mean, I guess when people start dying, it get real. 23 dead in prison riots in Colombia prompted by coronavirus fears. That's what I was wondering too. What are they doing about the actual people in prison? Do they put the whole prison on lockdown? Do they put the whole, you know, everybody on lockdown that's in the prison? 23-hour lockdown, 24-hour lockdown? How does it go? How does it really go? Let's see. Dropping like flies. Look up Russia when it did say only 2 people had it and they were Chinese. Really? Let me see something here. How many people died in Russia? Let's take this out of here and put Russia and see what happens, if they even tell it. Russia announces its first death 4 days ago, a 79-year-old woman. Move this off the screen. They said a 79-year-old woman with the underlying health issues who also tested positive for the new coronavirus had died from the pneumonia, the country's first confirmed death resulting from the virus. Russia, which has temporarily barred entry to foreigners and imposed an array of flight restrictions, has reported 147 coronavirus cases so far, less than many other European countries. Is that because they shut down those borders quickly? What made Russia not get hit like some of these other places? Let's see here. It did not say where the woman was thought to have picked up the virus, but it said her circle of close acquaintances have been identified and was under medical observation. Yeah, they don't play that stuff in some of these other countries. They'll quarantine you in a heartbeat, lock you in, say, we need to test you, buddy. Didn't they say Kim Jong-un over in North Korea was shooting people for having it? I don't know if that was true or not, but I saw that. They said he's shooting them on sight. Master than the bat eaters, I guess. Yeah, they said it came from bats. I heard that too. The elderly population in Italy. Oh, yeah, they do have a higher elderly population. That's why it's so bad. Yeah, I did see that too. Sure did. They won't be arresting so much soon. Right. Did they go on lockdown? Who, Russia? I don't know. It didn't say, but I mean, if they did, they probably wouldn't, let that be out too big. New York City and Chicago are on lockdown as well. Yep. The news was saying because Italy had a lot of older people like China, but I don't know. Yep. They will be releasing a lot of people from prison soon. But go to release them to do what? To go home to be quarantined again? Get out of prison to go get in prison? Is that what the play is now? Police won't take the risk. They won't be showing up for work. They calling off sick too. All the affected on Africa are from other countries. Yeah, Africa was a place too that didn't have a lot of I know on the continent. Let's see here. See if I put in Africa, what comes up? 17 killed in Africa from coronavirus, according to AA.com. I don't know what news source that is. But they touching temperatures. What if you don't have a temperature? So think about all these people they going around checking temperatures on. What if they don't have a high temperature? Because, there's a lot of people walking around that are asymptomatic, showing no symptoms. You don't have any clue if they have it or not. And they may be passing it right along. That's the scariest part of all of this. So let's see here. The World Health Organization announced Thursday that the death toll from the virus known as Covid-19 stands at 17 in Africa, as more countries on the continent recorded their first cases in the past 24 hours. What date was this written? Oh, this was written 3 days ago. Out of the more than 220,000 cases, the death toll, so that's the whole world. Okay. So yeah, they don't have a lot in Africa from what it looks like here on the continent. Let's see here. Maybe this is it here. Oh no, this is talking about worldwide. It's not Africa. What is this? I agree and close. Do I want to agree to something? I don't even want to read that. I guess I'll agree. Don't agree nothing. I don't want to download nothing. I know that. Don't download nothing, give you the bug. And like I said, if you want to join into this conversation, there's a link in the bio here, not on Periscope, but on the other ones, on YouTube and Facebook. And if you want to join in, you can actually come into the live here. If you got something to say, if you want to play. Let's see here. The coronavirus was confirmed in the Chinese city of Wuhan in late December 2019. So let's see here. South Africa tally hits 274. Botswana president in self-isolation. Oh man, they got a president. I know some people was talking about that here in America, talking about, I hope Trump get it. And all this stuff, silliness. Like, yeah, y'all be talking that stuff. You better be watching who in charge, because it can be way worse if whoever's in charge, know, because they could have really did a national quarantine or something serious, and they probably still will if the death toll rises, because they want to flatten that curve, like they said, flatten the curve. Let's see here. Yeah, the people infected was from other countries, possibly. Come on, National Guard us. Come on, National Guard us. Is that what you're saying, Daddy? Yeah, I don't know if they can guard us. I mean, who really wants to be in that stuff? This is like serious stuff. You got to have on a full thing. It's already over. You just don't realize it yet. It's possible. Possibly. I mean, do you think it's over? What do you all think about this? What is the end game with this thing? That's what I really want to know. Is it to get everybody to get that vaccine? To say we want to protect everybody here, take this vaccine by force, or take this vaccine to save your other people and all this other stuff? Let's see here. He said, it's not over, buddy. Relax. It ain't over yet, but it could be the new world order. Seriously, a different way of things, the different way of life, the different way of how things are going to be coming in the future. It's got to be something bigger than this, though. That's what I want to know. What is the real truth of the matter? Let me go back and see what else Donald Trump was saying.
Based on all of this to those states, including respirators, surgical masks and gowns, face shields, coveralls, and gloves, with large quantities already delivered to Washington and to New York. In addition to large quantities of supplies, I've also directed FEMA to supply the following: 4 large federal medical stations with 1,000 beds for New York, 8 large federal medical stations with 2,000 beds for California, and 3 large federal medical stations and 4 small federal medical stations with 1,000 beds for the state of Washington. The governors know. The supplies en route to California and New York will be delivered within the next 48 hours. In addition, the Naval Hospital ship, the USNS Mercy. It's incredible ships. These 2 ships are incredible. One on the West Coast, one on the East Coast, will be deployed to Los Angeles to add emergency surge medical capacity, and they have a tremendous capacity. They are really something. I will say that if you look at some of the things we've been doing, and now those numbers have gone up, and just to be a little bit more exacting, we've done a presidential approval for requests for major disaster declaration for the state of New York, approval of Title 32 National Guard activation for the state of New York. We're providing all of this at no cost to the governor. I spoke with Governor Cuomo. He's working hard. We're all working hard together. The relationship has really been amazing. But it also enables the governor to provide robust National Guard support to the state. And the 25%, we're going to be waiving that 25% cost. We're picking up, we'll be coordinating, and they'll be doing something with very special people. Mission assignment of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to provide support to build out alternate care sites. They're doing various alternate care sites, which have now been designated by New York. 4 large federal medical stations of 1,000 beds. These are very complex places, actually, with great equipment and great people.
So there he is, number 45, activating the National Guard in New York, California, and Washington State. What do you think is going to be the big thing with this thing? Now, I see that somebody here on Facebook said a vaccine will be available soon. Now, I want to ask you all a question in here. Are you willing to take the vaccine? Put in a 3 for yes and a 1 for no. Are you willing to go and take this coronavirus COVID-19 vaccine? Put in a 3 for yes and a 1 for no. Are you going to go take it to help your fellow citizens and not spread this deadly virus, even if you don't know if you got it or not? Because you could be sitting there and have it right now and not even know it. Asymptomatic. How do you know? That's crazy. Let's see here. 1, hell no. 1, no. 1, no. What y'all don't want to get that shot? Come on now. It ain't gonna hurt. It'll be painless. Believe me, it won't hurt. Uh-oh, there we go. Not sure. That's a good answer. Because I don't even take the flu vaccine. So it's like, he said, y'all ain't gonna have a choice. How they gonna know if you took it or not? You can say, I took it. What you talking about? I lost my medical records, like we used to do. I lost my piece of paper to say I took it. So nobody want to take that thing, huh? People want the word to come down so that they can feel like champions in a devolved world. They want the world, I guess you're saying the world to come down. And I saw somebody put that in the comments too. Up here above, let me see what that was. Somebody said something about America is a capitalist society. You think America about to give its whole wealth away and its whole power structure? Because what if it was something major that really crippled America? And that's why, they have to take this drastic measure. Because say if this really was a world pandemic like it is, and America loses its number one slot on top of the totem pole of power on the planet, that's a major shift. That would be a problem. They don't want to lose that, number one slot. We want to be number one. America's strong. We got the best military. Well, hope this military can help out with this, because it ain't looking too good. I ain't seen nobody put a 3 in here about saying they're gonna take that vaccine. Would you be willing to take that vaccine? Put in a 3 for yes and a 1 for no. Everybody said 1 so far. The vaccine will be to sterilize you. I hope not. It is a world population problem, right? Who knows? It's always a problem. Okay, let's see what we got here. What's up, the pastor? All right, let's see here. So some people just don't see that. Yeah, you're right. It's a lot of stuff we don't see. It's population control, you say. Dad buys houses. It could be. I mean, like I said, I can't put anything past any of this stuff. To just think that, it just happened to happen and it's like, it's weird. It's weird. I know they were saying something too about Vice President Pence. One of his people had it or something. Let me see what the story was on that. Pence staffer. I think they said his pass. Yeah, he will be. Let me see here. Well, they tested negative for the coronavirus, they say. But I knew it was a staff member. They said caught it or something. Let's see here. Yeah, there it is. Staff member and Vice President Mike Pence's office tests positive for coronavirus. That gotta be scary. I know you're like, oh, hell no, I gotta go get tested. I got to go get tested. Y'all sticking to them ones, huh? 1, 1, 1. Hell no. 3 minus 2 equals 1. That's right. That's what it is. You say, I'm not taking no vaccine. What if it ain't no choice? What if it is mandatory? I would hope it wouldn't be. It would be pretty bad. Since the conception of this country, it's been all about money. Now you're talking something now. It's always been about money. Blood and money. Only thing that's respected. But, I understand. It's part of the game. You want to play this game, you got to play to win. So, yeah, he's activated the National Guard there. What's the next places to be activated? Where I guess they're going to go off of, who else is going to be actually having some deaths? What other places are going to be having problems? I know they said Washington, California, and New York were some of the main places. And those are on the coast. And what made Washington become a bad place as well? Because of the Asian community there or something? Or because, Donald Trump called it a Chinese virus or whatever he called it. Let's see here. What all has occurred in the states on lockdown? Well, from what I understand, they have curfew set in place. And let me go back and see what they said for St. Louis, because I really didn't look at it completely. But I know we go on lockdown tomorrow. St. Louis lockdown. You just put in coronavirus, and I'm sure it'll come up. Let's see here. Here it is. An official stay-at-home order. Stay your butt at home. And it begins at 6 p.m. on Monday. And I guess midnight tonight. Oh, we only got a few hours. Oh, man. Let's see what this video is talking about. Let me see if I can get you a video. Let me move this out the way. Got a lot of commercials on here, boy. They getting all kind of money. Look at that ad revenue. I ain't mean to get them that much ad revenue. Slow down.
Solar projects by nature.
We don't want them to get this commercial in. Get the commercial out the way first. And we're going to see what they talking about this lockdown here in Missouri.
says she has another son that goes to Hodge Elementary, but he hasn't been in school since March 6th. She says she doesn't know where she got the virus, but believes it's community spread, considering she hasn't traveled anywhere since the summer of last year. Right now, the Jefferson County Health Department has not independently confirmed this case. Starting tomorrow, a stay-at-home order will go into effect in St. Louis City and County. Mayor Lada Cruzan and County Executive Sam Page announced the order yesterday to help stop the spread of the coronavirus. News 4's Alyssa Toomey joins us live in Olivet with a closer look at how this is going to impact all of our lives. Alyssa?
Hey, good morning, Corey. Well, right now I'm on Olive Boulevard. I have the Vantage Credit Union behind me, and that business is going to stay open when that order goes into effect because it's a bank and banks are deemed an essential business. This order is very similar to the order that I told you about that's already in effect in Illinois. I told you about that yesterday morning. This order in the city and the county is going to last for 30 days. So a little more information. In the county, this order is going to go into effect at 1 minute after midnight, early Monday morning. In the city, it starts at 6 p.m. Monday. Non-essential businesses will have to close. That includes things like gyms, barbershops, and nail salons. Grocery stores, hardware stores, banks, and pharmacies will remain open. You can still leave your home to get food, medicine, and gas.
This situation will only get worse, much worse, if we don't act right now.
I know that these restrictions will take a toll on our economy, but we are choosing saving lives over the economic impact.
You can also still leave your house to go on a walk or to walk your dog, maybe go to Forest Park. But remember, you need to practice social distancing as well, staying at least 6 feet away from other people. We know that there are a lot of the questions this morning. This is going to have a really big impact on everyone's life. So we have a full breakdown of all of this, plus a list of the essential businesses and non-essential businesses on KMOV.com and on our mobile app. Live in Olivet this morning, Alyssa Toomey, News 4.
All right, Alyssa, thank you very much. Let's take a look at the latest numbers right now. Missouri is now reporting at least 91 cases of coronavirus in the state and 3 deaths. Illinois has 753 confirmed cases and 6 deaths.
So there you go. You got some deaths. Hold your breath and don't get death. So, that's just St. Louis City and County. That's not counting, all over the United States, all over the world. I mean, it's really been impacting a lot of people in a lot of different ways. How has it impacted you? Has it impacted your business? Because I know my business, I have a store here in St. Louis, a physical business selling furniture, collectibles, antiques, stuff like that. We're shut down. We're done for at least the next few weeks or however long they say. Non-essential businesses, because I don't believe that falls under essential business. We don't sell food and stuff like that. So we're basically out of here. And if anybody wants to join in, like I said, there's a link in the description at the YouTube channel and at the Facebook page. There's a link. You can actually click right in there. You can come in as a video or even audio right there in the description of this post right now. If you're that high speed, if you got something to say about any of this. But like I said, I know this has actually affected me and affected everybody. I mean, nobody's exempt from this. What are they going to do about this? I know they're saying that, they're going to stop mortgage payments or stop rents, or I know they stopped doing evictions. They're not doing any evictions here in this town. I don't know about everywhere else. The government itself has stopped working in those type of capacities, and they're not going to do evictions, and they're not, I don't know about the mortgage thing. So how does that trickle down to people who got to pay those mortgages? Do we not get to pay mortgages? Because I got a lot of property, and they all got a loan coming due in about 9 days, 10 days, however long it is. Rents are due in 6 days and mortgages are due in about 9 days. So we're going to see how that works out. Hopefully that evens out. And that's just that. That ain't even counting people who got to go to work. What if your job lay you off, or you're, say you drive Uber or Lyft, or you do DoorDash or one of those type of things. I guess DoorDash and them wouldn't be too bad, but really anything where you're coming into contact with people can be a problem. Can be a huge problem. Lost my job. Oh no, love and light 24. What do you plan to do now that you've lost your job? Do you have a backup plan, a backup business? That's why I always tell people have multiple flows of income, multiple streams, because if you're depending on that one thing, it gets tough, especially in times like this. Because my Amazon sales have slowed down as well. We used to sell so much a day, and we got a couple of 0 days this week. I'm like, zero? We don't get zeros. We get something. You know, it may not be crazy, but it's really changed the game a lot. It's really changed the game a lot. You know, losing your job can be a bad thing because how are you going to pay your bills? Because even when I was in the grocery store the other night, I went to Walmart, you know, because I already had some stuff, but I said, let me go get a little bit more because this getting a little bit more serious than I thought. And, you know, I thought it was going to be that. So I went there and thinking I'm going to go get some things from the store. And most of the stuff was gone. No toilet paper. Definitely no hand sanitizer. I don't know why everybody loved that stuff. I mean, they really cleaned that place out. They had some food there, some things. Most of the cereal aisle was gone. I mean, they had some Frosted Flakes and Fruit Loops, I think. Everything else was gone. Let's see here. You say, I took my money out of 401k. Yeah, you better. You better, if you know what's best for you, do what's right and take that flight. But like I said, I think they did Dallas as well. I saw that put on there. Dallas, Texas. Let me see what they said. Dallas County reports 2 more coronavirus fatalities, 36 new cases, 49 minutes ago. Damn. As I say, it is spreading kind of fast, and they did tell us that it's probably going to get worse before it gets better. Let's see here. Dallas County reports 2 more coronavirus fatalities, 36 new cases. An 80-year-old man was the first COVID-19 fatality reported within the city of Dallas. Damn. I guess it's going to touch everybody. Who is it not going to touch? That's what I want to know. How do you get into that crew? The people that went underground for real? The people, the doomsday preppers? The people who said, oh, hell no, I ain't messing with this. I'm out of here. They've been stockpiling food, stockpiling canned goods, stockpiling everything just in case this day came. Because, I mean, it's not like nobody here wouldn't believe that this could ever happen. You just don't want it to happen in your lifetime. Let's see here. Somebody on Facebook say, y'all voted for this guy. Well, it didn't matter who was in the presidency at this point. You could have had Hillary Clinton there. What would she have done differently? Let me ask you that. If Hillary Clinton had won that election 3 years plus ago, what would she have done differently? I really want to know the answer to that one. Because like I said, I don't think any government person could have done anything really other than lock us down earlier. Would you have wanted to be locked down 3 weeks ago? You know, just because, you know, they thought? Would that have been the answer? I mean, what is the answer to any of this stuff? I don't even think the government can save you no matter who is in there in reality. Lion 314 says it hasn't changed nothing for me as of yet, but I see it coming. You seen it coming. I know you did. Say you're watching 4 videos at a time of the effects all over the world. Yeah, and what is it doing in other countries like India, Pakistan, and all these other places? I mean, it's really been what it is. Right. What you say, presidents are just puppets. They just can do so much. And you see they really can't do anything. You can't, it's really not much they can do. Let's see, did Donald Trump call it a hoax? I keep seeing people say that. Let me see if I can find something on that. Because I want to make sure. I know the clip that I saw, I didn't see that. I seen them saying that the news media made it a big hoax, making it big as it was. Let's see here. What's he called? Trump coronavirus hoax. Where did he say that at? From pandemic to hoax. It's Democrats' new hoax. Donald Trump step-ups attacks on China and the media. Calls the coronavirus and Democrats' new hoax. Let's see here. From hoax to war. Reversing the course. Trump invokes war powers to combat coronavirus. Trump is not racist to call coronavirus the Chinese virus. Even Buttigieg said something about it before he jumped out of the race. I want to see the actual words, not a clip from some news organization. That's why you got to be careful where you get your news at. I want to hear it out of his mouth myself. Look like we got Butch. What up, bro?
What's going on, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
All right. I was testing it out on the YouTube side.
Yeah, we streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, Periscope. We multi-streaming.
I see.
That's the first time I try to do one of these type of lives on here. I said, I'm going to try it out. So what is your take on this, Butch? What do you think is going on with this craziness here?
Well, this ain't the first time or even the worst that we've been seen, a pandemic in the world. I'm talking about people forget, like, all right, so it was a big flu outbreak right around World War One. So people lost about 100 million people altogether, the whole world. So I'm saying, so it's like, and I know we're still in the beginning stages, and I know a lot of people want to clean the fear because it's easy to delve into fear, but I do believe that cool heads will prevail on all standards, on all levels.
Yeah, because somebody say here Trump shouldn't have let any planes from China, and he did shut it down. I remember him doing it, and they called it racist back when he did it. But it's only what you can do. Do you think there's something that could have been done to prevent this widespread of taking over the world like this?
I don't think so.
It was no matter what, right?
Yeah, unless you're just gonna restrict people from moving, period. Which I don't see how you can do that.
Right. So I mean, for people to make a blame, to say, "Oh, it was this person's fault or that person's fault," I don't know. And I can't put it on nobody just like that. I don't see it because like, who could really be in place to respond to something like this?
What you think the end game would be?
Yeah, I was thinking it's either one or two things. Either one, everybody end up getting that dang on vaccine, or everybody end up catching it from somebody else. But eventually, it looks like, in my eyes, from just looking from here, they want everybody to eventually get it.
Yeah, I think it look like everybody gonna get it one way or another. Like, do you think it's gonna be some kind of legal ramification to come after, after the dust settles?
Oh yeah, most definitely. And that's why I say this is like, this may be just a test for the next one. Because say if we make it through this 6 months from now, and something else come up later in a year or 2 or 3 years from now, whenever, they've already got experience on it, and they're going to move a lot quicker to lock everybody down. Now we're in a state of fear. Every time they come up, lockdown, lockdown, lockdown.
Right.
Oh, another one of them lockdowns. That feels right to me.
I see what you're saying.
People just look like nothing would ever change.
I do think a lot of those, like you saying, like the doomsday preppers, I think a lot of them they kind of I think they kind of flourishing in this type of environment. Like, I don't want to say they glad something happened, but like, what type of a boxer, trained for half his life and then don't ever get to fight? Like, it's like you training for nothing. So I think some of them kind of almost want some shit to happen so they can put their skills to use.
Yeah, it's like they wasn't prepping for no reason. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's like I said, it's beyond my scope. But I mean, with the toilet paper thing running out and stuff like that, I should have seen that coming, because that's what happened when we deployed to Iraq back in the day. The units before us didn't have enough toilet paper, so I should have known right off the rip. Let me see here. We got Vincent.
So what's the difference behind like certain supplies and like food not being delivered to the stores? Are they shutting down like transporters?
You say what now?
Are they shutting down like the transporters that deliver food and essential needs, or people just not showing up for work?
Oh no, they said you can't go to work. They shut down all 9 mission essential businesses, or whatever they called it. 9 I forgot the actual word they used, but basically, if it's not food, gas, stuff like that, they don't want you in here.
No, I'm asking, like, why is it like you were saying, like, people run out of toilet paper and wasn't hardly no food in the store? Like, are they not delivering to the stores anymore, or what?
Oh no, they just bought it all up. They bought it. They were smart.
They don't have enough time. So they ain't having no time to restock and whatnot because everybody just keep buying it all up too fast. I got you.
Well, I mean, they got it, but they just ain't getting it. What's up, Vincent? How you doing?
What's going on with you, my brother? What's going on? All I got to mention, man, a couple of things. The supply chain is absolutely fine. Trust and believe that they will keep these stores stocked up. Money will be made. We live in a capitalist society, so when it comes to things like, items such as essential items being available, I don't think we have anything to worry about. The problem with the Trump administration, and this is not, because I'm not an anti-Trumper. I'm not a person that falls under the left propaganda. But with that being said, there is some issues, some things that have been done, where I kind of like to say he missed the ball. First off, I purchased items from China. I just had a shipment shipped in the end of January. So I've been following what's been going on in China and basically how everything has been playing out in China. I mean, I've been watching it, talking to my Chinese suppliers. I saw how the Chinese government operated. They missed the ball as well, in a sense, because they didn't take heed from some of their experts middle part of December. And what the Chinese government did was allowed individuals to go on vacation. And when the Chinese New Year came about, and when they did go on vacation, what happened was then all of a sudden you have millions of people that work in the city areas go out to their villages and basically spread the disease basically that way. And where the Trump administration made a mistake at was it just seems to me that they should have took notice of what was going on, and they should have implemented like this War Production Act that he just implemented. That's something that should have been implemented, because we have a shortage of tests right now. I talked to a doctor friend of mine the other day, and he was basically saying 95% of the people that came in, he would have tested. I got a sister-in-law that's a nurse practitioner. They starting to see a lot of people coming to these hospitals sick, man. And the hospitals don't have enough supplies, masks, and we just don't have the ability to handle the capacity.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that happening. They could definitely that way, but
just don't.
But I say if he had did that though, and I'm not trying to defend them or say they were right or wrong, because they're, it's a lot of wrong, like you say, all the way around. I mean, because what could the government have done if he had said, you know what, at first sign of it, I'm shutting down everything? They would have said, Trump, oh, he's like Hitler. He trying to stop us all. No matter what was done, it was wrong. Just in reality. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I mean, everything is over politicized without a doubt. You know what I'm saying? But it comes a time where a leader have to, in my opinion, step above the fray and just take care of business. There's a lot of things in this country that we got to reevaluate. We got to look at the medical system, for an example. We have to look at the medical supplies and say to ourselves, damn, why are we allowing ourselves to rely on foreign entities to produce ventilation systems, for an example, life supports, masks? There's nowhere you can get masks. My local police department, I contacted my mayor and asked him, I said, Mayor, is there anything that you need? The police department don't have gloves. They don't have face masks. They have absolutely nothing. So I went online and I actually bought from a Chinese supplier, literally bought face masks for the police department in my area, because I know that they the first ones that if our seniors, if the seniors in the neighborhood, need help, they'll be the first ones that have to respond. You know what I'm saying? So these people gotta somewhat, in a sense, be safe. But he missed the ball on that, man. Early on, back in February, they should have saw the signs coming, and he should have instantly started acting at that point, instead of waiting until just 2 or 3 days ago when he signed an executive order to induce the Wars Production Act. Where the federal government can come into a private company and say, hey, stop what you're doing. We need you to start producing masks. We need you to start producing gloves. We need you to start producing chemicals, and so on and so forth. That's something that should have been done. And unfortunately, what it does is it forces cities like St. Louis to say, okay, we got to find a way to combat this and prevent the spike from going up. Because really, all the governments can actually do at this point is somewhat flatline what's going on. All they can do is try to prevent the spikes. Honestly, in my personal opinion, I don't think it's not going nowhere. This corona COVID-19, this specific type of coronavirus, it ain't going nowhere. You know, it's here to stay. Y'all, I'm sorry, it's here to stay. It's too many people done got affected. It's a very, very contagious disease. It's airborne. It lives on surfaces way longer than a lot of other stuff does. And honestly, I just don't believe it's going anywhere. Only way it could possibly go somewhere is if the summer weather affected in a way that us as humans just haven't seen yet. But you know,
so let me ask you this, Vincent, where do you think it came from? Where is the real origin, in your opinion?
People say, oh, it was something biological or came out of a lab. You know, I'm not here to dispute that or say it, but it makes perfect sense to me that it came out of the wet market in China. People have to keep in mind that there is a natural fear between humans and animals. There are things that are in the natural world that humans, I don't care how educated you are, we still don't understand. We still don't understand. I sit up and I watch these National Graphic movies or documentaries about, and I hear how the commentator, always try to say this or say that, and it's all assumptions. He's assuming everything. We don't know. There's so much we don't know about the earth. You know what I'm saying? So it very much so could have came from a wet market in China. They to me, the Chinese government need to come in and regulate their meat industry and stop allowing humans to consume certain things and like going in and pulling out. I think they were saying it's a certain type of mammal, that could have contracted it from a bat.
Yeah, they say a bat on here. They got a bat on the screen.
Yeah, but it's some kind of scaly mammal that I was, kind of put you in the mind of a porcupine in a sense. But, I've read plenty of articles that said a bat, said there's other animals say this. So we really don't know, man. I mean, I honestly just think that, it's here. I don't think it's something that the government, I think it's foolish for the government to do something. What will be the point? What world order? What will be the actual point of it? Because you got to remember, we live amongst greedy motherfuckers. This is America. This is a greedy ass country. You know what I'm saying? World order don't accomplish the goal. It doesn't. World order doesn't accomplish the goal. You get what I'm saying? So I know I hear all these conspiracy theories, but people need to understand, man. This is America. This is a capitalist country. And when it all boils down to getting your paper, getting money. People come from all over the world to come to this country to make money. Everything is for sale. Everything in this country is for sale.
You sure right about what economic backlash is going to be? Do you think it's really going to mess up a lot of businesses? I know some businesses are actually benefiting from this, like Walmart and all the convenience stores. They're making record sales, I'm sure. But, what about the other small businesses and things that are being shut down? You think they're going to survive?
It's one or two things that's going to happen. It's, once the weather warm up, either some pharmaceutical company come out and say, hey, we found a vaccine, or they do testing with this malaria drug. They saying it's a malaria drug, an anti-malaria drug that possibly is the best treatment on the market right now. And the funny thing about this is my father-in-law and them, they from Haiti. My old lady, she from Haiti. They actually have these pills, you know what I'm saying? you know, this it's a certain type of malaria drug, but over in certain foreign countries, you don't have to get a doctor's prescription for medication. You can just go into a pharmaceutical and say, "Hey, I need some antibiotics. I need this. I need that." And as long as you got the money, you just pay for it. So a lot of times, you know, I'm not 100% sure whether it's legal or not, but you know, they'll stock up on medication there and come on back. You know, you know, But what? In my opinion, what's going to end up happening is either one or two things. This thing is going to get drawn out. It can have damage on the economy to the point to where we probably won't see a rebound to the early part of next year, or in a month from now, you know, 6 weeks from now, everything will just, the engine will just start right back up right where it left off. And I think it really is, it really all boiled down to the message from the leadership, from the leader, you know, from the White House. It all boils down to the, if everybody can get on the same page, the media, the White House, all these folks can get on the same page.
Now, wait a minute, you asking for too much now. They on that.
Yeah, because we in political. I mean, we in the heat of politics, man, and you know, like I don't know, man. That can play very much so a part in this thing, man.
Like you said,
yeah, it really. And I think,
like you said, America's about that money.
say it again.
Yeah, America's about that money.
Yeah,
This
so
is probably,
people ain't gonna be off work too long.
this is probably the
folks
worst
ain't fit to be off from work. So if we look at what happened in China, basically what China did was
cut off. Vincent, can't hear you. Your mic cut off or something there. So like I said, if anybody else has something to say about any of this, you can join in the stream. There's a link in the description. I can't hear you, Vincent, if you're still there.
Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you. There you go. Now you're back.
Okay, yeah. I was saying, if we just look at what's going on in China, you know, if we just model after China or South Korea, I think in about a month, everybody will be back to work. You know, there possibly still be cases out there, you know, but I mean, basically what happened in China is that the coronavirus hit, it spiked up to like, 20,000 people. The Chinese government came in and did some miraculous shit, man. I mean, bro, they built a 1,600 bed hospital in like 10 days.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, damn, now that's some stuff.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah. They came in and so basically they reporting 0 new cases right now. They're reporting 0 new cases right at this present time. And
them quick.
Yeah. They built that one quick, man.
But that's what it takes, some massive stuff like that.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, can we ever do something this massive in America? We can't even fix our crumbling roads, let alone build a whole hospital.
Well, the Department of Justice is trying to curtail the Constitution right now, and it's a little bit touchy. So they basically saying that the president don't have enough power to get something like this done without all the bickering and back and forth with Congress and all that. You know what I'm saying? And to an extent, they got some truth to that, but at the same time, I mean, man, you touching some very touchy subjects there when you allowing one sector of the government to literally just take full-fledged control and make all decisions. And I don't know if I quite trust, again, I'm not an anti-Trumper. I'm not always 100% against Trump on everything. There's a lot of things Trump done did I agree with. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things he done did I totally disagree with. But, You know, I'm split 50-50, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm not confident that that would be a good solution. You know.
Yeah, and that's my position on a lot of this stuff. I'm not big on having big government do a lot of big stuff, and that's what it looked like the path this is headed to. Because I mean, I guess they don't have a choice at this point, but to keep pushing, you know, big government, do what we say. This is it. You know, your freedoms are being basically changed right before your eyes, saying that, you know, this is a stay-at-home order. This isn't like we're asking you to stay at home. No, you stay at home. You know, what are they really going to do if somebody decides to not stay at home? Decides that, you know what, I'm going to go out and party. I'm going to go out and have a good time. You can't, you know, how long are people sit back and take that? That's not American. That's not our way.
Right.
So,
right.
So that, I mean, and so that's why I say I don't know what the end game with this thing is. So, I mean, they could possibly come up with a cure for it. I mean, I guess that could be the third thing. I didn't think about it that way. It could be a cure that actually comes in and saves the day. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, there is some hope in this anti-malaria drug. From what I read and from what I understood from the article that I read, basically this malaria drug prevents the virus from entering into your cells. So it blocks it from even entering into your cells in the first place. You know, so, you know, if this might be a solution, we don't know just yet.
Right, right. And I wanted to ask you too, what is your thought on people just kind of ignoring it, having fun, doing their live streams, partying, like, oh, it'll be all right? I mean, do you think that's a good position for people to be in, to just, you know, try to ignore it like it's not real?
No, not at all. I see people make posts on Facebook constantly trying to, you know, and it blows my mind how people just don't know how to read charts, or they don't understand math. Basic math. People will sit up and be like, oh, it's 20,000 cases of coronavirus and only 1,000 of them have died from it, but then use 45 million cases of seasonal flu, but only 46,000 people have died from it. What they're trying to convey is that there has been 46,000 people, way more people have died from the seasonal flu than the coronavirus. But what they fail to understand is the death rate. If you just simply do the math, 45 million, 46,000 people of 45 million is probably less than 1%. It's probably 0 point something percent. Okay. But 2,000 or 1,000 of 20,000 people is 5%. That's a very high death rate. That basically means that 5% of the people have died from contracting this disease. And then the transmission rate is another thing that we don't tend to understand. The fact that
there's so many NBA players and stuff. What's that about?
I'm not 100% sure. A lot of them guys, they travel. If you notice that this virus hit the upper class first, it literally hit it, all across the world. It seemed like it hit folks, basically people who travel a lot, people who travel to Europe, people who travel to China, people who travel all the world, individuals with money that have the ability to intermingle amongst, folks who travel a lot. So that's who this virus has hit the most, really.
Wow.
And
whoever might get it.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, man. Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, they said it's going to get a lot worse before it ever gets better. I mean, I don't know how much worse it can be once you're on lockdown.
Yeah, I know.
To stop spreading, it's probably a good thing.
Yeah, I got a construction project. I'm gonna have to put that on hold and try to figure figure out whether or not I'm trying to figure out what this bill is. Am I supposed to pay these guys? I read up on it a little bit. Basically, if you paying 2/3, if you continue to pay 2/3 of their salary, the government will give you a tax credit at the end of the year. You know, I'm like, really, is it worth it? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh man, I don't want to leave my people out, just out there like that. But damn, but dang, it's an expense I'm gonna have to pay for. I don't know.
Yeah, because
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
that's the thing, like you got to pay workers. They're telling you got to stop your business. They want you to pay people. So it's like double-edged sword. Like, where do you win at in any of this?
I don't see it, man. I don't see it. I think what I'm gonna do is I might pay my guys for an extra week and then tell them to just go file unemployment. I'll just go ahead on and file unemployment for the next 2 or 3 weeks. And then when this lockdown thing is over with, we just get back at it. I'm trying to figure out what's the fair way of doing it too. You get what I'm saying? You don't want to have people working for you and then they left out in the cold. And it's like, damn, what's the fair way of doing this? You know what I'm saying? But then at the same time, my pockets aren't deep like that. I got a little money, but it ain't, what I'm saying?
You can't pay
I got a little paper, but my paper little, what I'm saying?
We're gonna get you some money, don't worry.
I ain't sitting on no $3, $4, $5 million. You know what I'm saying, man? How the heck? Yeah, man.
And so, because I got workers here in the United States, and I got workers overseas in the Philippines. So and they've been on lockdown for over a week. They've been on lockdown there. So I'm like, damn, been on quarantine. So
yeah. So you go continue on working them? Because I got a girl that works for me, contracted out for me, and she stay in the Philippines. I was going to continue on letting her work for me because she could be making phone calls and it might be a situation where you can kind of find a way to take advantage. I ain't gonna say take advantage, but just I don't know.
And I've been getting hit up too by like previous people who either worked for me or still want to work over in the Philippines, asking, "You got any work? You got any job?" So I'm like, "Are they being laid off over there, or what's really going on?" Like I kind of saw this coming too from there weeks ago. They're like, "Yeah, you got any work?" And I'm like, "Whoa, what's going on? Something fishy here."
Yeah.
So,
No, but you gonna be all right. You the good thing about you is that you know enough to rebound. So it's not too many people are as versatile as you are. You very versatile. So you'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? A lot of folks ain't gonna be all right, but you'll be all right.
Yeah, you gotta bounce back, man, some kind of way. I don't know how.
Yeah.
I only got 10,000 items for sale, furniture, collectibles, antiques, all type of stuff, and we still got our stuff we can ship out online and stuff. But it's like for our sales here locally, I don't know, changes the numbers up for real.
Yeah. Might want to get into type of selling stuff on Facebook. I mean, on Amazon that might fall up under the criteria of survival type stuff. Like I was saying, there is no actual surgical masks that I saw that are on Amazon, but I did go on AliExpress and find some. You know what I'm saying?
So you was not paying. You went straight to the source.
Yeah. So and then what I found out about some of these Chinese suppliers, because I deal on Alibaba a lot. But what I found out about some of these Chinese suppliers is that they've gotten smart. They warehouse a lot of their product here in the United States and sell it out, sell it on AliExpress. So they have warehouses of this stuff just stored up, so the masks, I'm actually buying them from a Chinese company that has it warehoused here in the United States.
Distribution. I use them for their distribution. I let them ship out quite a bit of stuff for us. It's just, somebody ordered, they ship out a deal with the customer service, all of this stuff. You got to pay a fee, but you just put it into your margins.
Yep.
What do you
Yeah.
think about
Yeah.
this stock market? You think this is going to keep going lower and lower, or it's going to crash, or what?
This is where the people who got a little paper can come up. This is where you can come up at. I mean, I'm me just being honest with you. I'm not extremely I'm knowledgeable on the Forex market. I've done some, and what I mean by knowledgeable is I understand the concept of it. And I went as far as, paper traded. But in my opinion, this is where people with a little money, man, you can actually come up and make some money. I think cryptocurrency is another one. I mean, I was looking at Ripple. Ripple was trading at 15 cents. And I remember not too long ago was trading at 42 cents, a coin. You know what I mean? You can get in at 15 cents on Ripple. Man, and you think
100. Let's see, Ripple,
yeah,
yep, 15 cent.
yeah,
What was it before?
yeah.
What did it get up to?
It was about it. I think the 24-month high. I mean the 12-month high on that one was probably 42 cents. But Ripple had made it all the way up to like $3 and something at one point in time.
Yeah, I know somebody who made a bunch of money with it and cashed out at $2 and something.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So you see what I'm saying? So if you got a little paper, if it's like that little $1,000 that they fit to send, if somebody can just if they okay with all the rest of their needs, just take that little money and chuck it off into crypto or something.
Up, down, up, down, up. But it's like 5,900. I mean, you would think it would be more than that. You would think it would go up in a time like this for real.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. And I was wondering, because you figure, but I think what's probably affecting that is the fact that the United States government came out and dropped interest rates down to 0. So it's almost as like crypto is number one competition is the US dollar, basically. So, when they came in and kicked out that 0 interest, I'm assuming that probably had an effect on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin ended up dropping, you know what I'm saying? Because people figured, hey, well, okay, at least the Federal Reserve is willing to come in and step in and save the day. They end up buying like $1.5 trillion, putting out $1.5 trillion in the stock market, you know what I'm saying, to try to ease it from dropping. But, a lot of it didn't work. Some of it worked, a lot of it didn't, but man, you could come up right now if you knew how to play, if a person knew how to play the game a little bit. And you don't really have to know how to play. You just got to follow behind some people. Like it's this brother on Facebook I follow behind, and I've had personal conversations with him, and he has straight out told me like, hey, bro, if you ever come down here to Atlanta, hey, you chop it up with me, man. And I've had conversations with him. His name is Eric White, the brother. He's a teacher at his day job, but then he's into he's into stock trading. And he got a little secret group tucked off to the side, and his stuff been on point. Like he been showing Forex trades that he been doing, and he done made like 157% return on his money in like less than a month. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
But the thing about him, he's cool, brother.
This mother was high back in February 10th, all the way up here, and now it's down, drop. That's the only thing I don't like about that stock market. I don't really like that about crypto either. It's all that up and down stuff. I ain't finna be watching. That's a job to me.
Yeah, man.
Almost low enough to start buying, but I think I'm gonna stick to the real estate.
Yes, sir.
No, it's safe
yes,
at the moment, but if the whole economy crashed, then none of this stuff's safe, right? Because this could all hit 0. You know that, right? This stock market could hit 0. It ain't like it ain't never before.
Yeah, it could. That means that no company in America that has any value. You get what I'm saying? And the chances of that ever happening, I ain't shoot, man. Who would have even thought coronavirus would be COVID-19 would even be here? So you never can say never, man.
You're sure right about that. You just don't know what's gonna come up next. Anything's possible. But yeah, that's down 9 points. That's crazy. So I guess tomorrow morning when it opens, it's gonna be going right down some more from opening bell. Crash, crash, crash. And they've been trying to stop it from going down every day, but you can't stop it forever.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, let me see
Yeah.
this week alone. Yeah, so I don't. That's why I say I don't know. I mean, I almost want to buy some, but I'm like, nah, I can't do it. I can't put myself to it. Are you gonna be buying some of these cheap stocks or what?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm down for it, man. Shit, the hell with it.
I'm going down like everybody else. We gonna go off.
Yeah, shit. I'm trying to retire off in Belize or somewhere in Africa, man, and buy me some land and do a little development. Fuck it.
Weird, huh? Like, what the hell? I ain't seen them in months, man. I've been on the side of the planet.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, man.
I mean, I guess this quarantine about to kick off, and tonight I ain't even realize it started that quick. I said, "Oh, that's tonight. That ain't even tomorrow. It's tonight in the city, but in the county it starts at midnight tonight."
Yep. Yeah.
So like, what, 4 hours? However long is it?
They didn't give us no time really, neither. So
I got 40 days worth of food and 30 days worth of water and 20 days worth of toilet paper. So.
Yeah. What's up with the toilet paper, man? I mean, do people realize that people are, I mean, you can grab, you know what I'm saying, a roll of old newspaper or something. I mean, what's up with toilet paper? You can grab a rag and wash it.
Looking back at it, like I said, I can't really say they're wrong. Like I said, when I deployed to Iraq, they didn't have enough toilet paper over there for the soldiers over there. So we brought extra. Because, like that first wave going into Iraq, they went over there, they ran out. They was like, they ain't had no toilet paper. So they told us to bring more and make sure you bring plenty. So we brought extra and extra and extra. And it kind of caught up over time. But it's just like, damn, that first influx, they did not bring enough.
Wow. Who would ever thought that?
Weeks. Yeah. So
wow.
I knew better. And I usually keep about 50 rolls on hand, but I'm only down like 20. Or less than 20, like 15 rolls. That's not enough. So I'm about to be bartering for some toilet paper, man. We finna trade. I got about 50 boxes of bullets I can trade for some toilet paper.
Tell me about it, man. Yes, sir.
I got me some 22 rounds. I'm ready to trade. I keep stuff. I'm bartering.
Yes, sir.
So I don't know what it's going to come to. So I don't know what states are going to be next, what cities are going to be next for this activated National Guard thing or what. But it looked like it is going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah, as long as the supply chain is open, man, and people can still have access to groceries and food and just the basic essentials. Only thing I can think of that can possibly, harbor that would be if another country would decide to, commit an act of war against us.
Yes, I was. Yes, that's very well possible. Weaken everybody, get everybody scared, and that's the time you hit them when everybody guard is down.
Yeah.
With that.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And that would be a game changer. And I always say, man, I've been saying for the last 3 or 4 years, damn, I want to get some land. I've been wanting to go down to Georgia. I don't know why Georgia, stick out to me. Well, I know why Georgia stick out to me, but I've been wanting to go down to Georgia, man, and just buy me up, 50 acres of land and, put a homestead on there and just in case, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
You're gonna need it because it's serious, I'm like, I don't know how much more serious they gotta make it.
Yeah.
And like I said, even if we do make it from this, that changes the rules going forward, the rules of engagement. Oh, we got some other pandemic, everybody 24-hour lockdown or automatic lockdown. This is like could be just a test to see what happened on the next one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like you said, that's the other thing. That was a real thing that I was thinking. I'm like, man, what if this really was started by them for real to spread it, weaken everybody, get everybody on alert and scared and worried about that. And while you thinking about that, bam, hit you with something else.
Yeah.
You know, they always talking about EMPs and all this other stuff, these other weapons they got and cyber war and all that. This stuff real, man. That stuff is real. And you know, ain't nobody gonna really want to fight America, you know, straight up fight like that. Not really, because they got too many assets. So they gotta fight another way. And this look like a sneaky way to do it if they want to do it.
Yeah.
Not to scare anybody or nothing, but it's very well possible. Don't put nothing past these jokers. That's why I say, what's going on in Russia? What's going on in China? You know, these are big players on the planet, you know, and that's why I say America got to do what they got to do to make sure it keeps its #1 slot on top of the world order as it is right now.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a problem. I was like, oh, no.
Yeah, and see, you've experienced it. You've experienced it firsthand. So you've seen it. And see, it's hard for people to fathom what you've experienced. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we watch it and see it on TV all the time, but it's a whole nother ball game when you actually living in it, man.
Because that's what, like I said, when I deployed in the Middle East, I just realized that we got it way too good here. Like this little lockdown thing, in reality, just being locked down really ain't nothing. You know, it could be big because we got to stay too long in the house, whatever. But in the large picture of things, you know, I realized when I was deployed that, you know, you don't really need a lot of the stuff we be taking for granted. Air conditioner, running water. We ain't had no toilets for the first 3 weeks. We were using porta johns and we were using outhouses, burning details where we actually had to burn our stuff until like 3 weeks in. Then they brought the porta johns in. It was like, man, I'm glad to see a damn porta john. That's crazy when you could live without a toilet, live without running water, live without the basic things we take for granted every day. Ice, the stuff that we be thinking like, oh man, I gotta have that. Man, you live without it a while, you appreciate life a whole lot better.
Yeah.
It will humble you.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it did for me, because I said, damn. And then, like I said, with that toilet paper thing too, you know, and it's just little stuff, you know, we make it blown out of proportion, but it can be if we really have, you know, mess up the economy or something like that. That really could be a big problem. So when people get these checks from the government, you know, small businesses and or private citizens getting this stimulus check, what do you think that's gonna do? You think that's going to really save everybody, or is it just going to be a pacifier?
Just a pacifier, man. And hopefully it's enough. You know what I'm saying? You know, hopefully that the private industry, the private market can somewhat help sustain, or, you know, like me, I'm sitting up here judging whether or not, like, man, you know, I'm gonna pay these guys for a month, you know, they get unemployment, you know, they rest of the month other 3 weeks they can get unemployment, plus that $1,000 check, you know, that'll help out a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? You know.
Yeah, because $1,000, that don't even cover a month of expenses. And they saying we're gonna be probably locked down at least to the end of April. At least.
Yeah.
So that's not even a month of expenses. $1,000, $1,500, that, you know, it helps, but it really don't, you know. And then they say so many Americans only have so much saved, less than $1,000 or something. I forgot what they said the stats was. Let me see.
Yeah.
They said Americans only got so much money. And that's just America. I ain't even counting everybody. That's just America.
Yeah. The average American live
paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
They gave me a thing. Amount. Let me see. Google may know. Google know everything sometimes. Look at that. Let's see here. The median household. What? Is only 11,000? That ain't right. Well, that was in 2000. That's still kind of low. That's kind of low. The savings. Yeah, well, I hope you ain't saving too much. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't see an actual number here. Check the full breakdown. I don't know. I did see something before though. They said that Americans only had so much money in savings, less than $1,000 or something. I don't remember exactly what it said, but it was something small. Like, man, that's all.
Yeah. When you knock off that top, Yeah, when you knock off the top 1% of income earners in this country, and then you just deal with the other 99%, shit, you know, it'll drop down or something like that.
69% of Americans have less than $1,000 in savings. So 1,000 if you have it, which they say less than, and 1,000 that the government give you, which they might give you more. So we'll say you got 2,500. Is that enough to last you a month or two with no work? Hell no. I don't know. So they got to do something to keep this economy afloat, because you know this money stuff made up anyway.
Yep.
And it's going to show how fragile it really is.
Yep. Well, the United States, basically, I read an article where they were saying that the presidents had to send over an envoy over to the Saudis to try to appease them, because the Saudis haven't stopped producing oil. They still producing at a high capacity. And what has happened is that here you got all this oil that's still being produced. Well, guess what? You don't have that many buyers no longer. So the oil price tanked. And who that affect first and foremost is the oil industry here in the United States. They can't in the US, these oil producers on this soil can't make a profit at $29 a barrel.
But
they can't.
Isn't America supposed to be off of foreign oil now? I thought I heard them say something about that. America's off foreign oil now.
Yeah, but if it's at $29 a barrel, and it's costing, I'm just shooting this number out here. It is at around $20-something a barrel. But even if it's at $20-something, $29 a barrel, but it costs a producer $35 a barrel to extract it, to explore it, extract it, pay labor, pay wages, pay regulation fees, and all this extra stuff that he ain't making a profit. You know what I'm saying? So how long will you keep your operation up and going if it ain't profitable? Not that much longer. So he's supposed to be sending an envoy over there to tell basically the Saudis to stop producing so much oil, so that the prices can kind of somewhat stabilize. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know the Saudi and the Russians ain't playing. They got a problem. They said we finna go to war. Well, not war, but we got a oil price war with Saudi Arabia, and that's been going on for a little minute. Right around the same time this thing been going on. We was just saying it could be a multiple front type of attack type thing. We don't even see it. Say, well, let's do that. Let's mess with the oil. Let's mess with this. Let's mess with that. Because, like I said, nobody really want to go head up against the U.S. military. The only people that might eventually do it is Russia, and maybe China in the next.
China getting up there, man. Hey.
But who built China up to be like that, though? That's the question.
The U.S. without a doubt. Without a doubt, the greed here built that up. The greed, the absolute greed. But what I try to explain to people is can you blame the Chinese? You can't blame them. Hey, you want to come over here? You want to extort our people for dirtball cheap labor? We have the infrastructure. We go learn this game from you, and they learned it at such a fast pace, man. They are doing things at lightning speed compared to the U.S. right now. I was reading an article where this scientist over in Europe was saying that the Europeans are doing things 5 times slower than the the Chinese. The U.S. is doing it twice as slow, when it comes to exploring space and technology. But he said the Chinese is dominating in these sectors right now.
Because of the economics. They got the money to burn on that stuff. They got that
the money, the raw material, access to all the raw material,
cheap labor, all that.
Cheap labor.
What got America in power? Don't that sound familiar?
Yeah, that sound real familiar, brother. It sound real familiar.
How did America become a superpower on a planet at only 250 years old?
Yeah. Yeah, you had that black oil. You had that black gold. You know what I'm saying? You had that black gold.
Countries don't get on top superpower just by accident.
No, it takes labor. Labor is, no matter how you want to look at it, I don't care how advanced technology get, labor is a component, is the number one component to creating wealth. And how effective and efficient you can drive that labor force. You know, one thing about Elon Musk, Elon Musk is, in my eyes, is probably, the United States #1 entrepreneur, right? How do you effectively mobilize and get that workforce to be as efficient as possible? And it's all built in his brand. He branding, I'm saving the planet. I'm saving the planet. We saving the planet, y'all. We doing this because we saving the planet.
But that's why he's trying to lead his mud, because he know that when it all kick off, these people on this planet gonna destroy this thing. So he said, let me find a way to get to Mars. Because he right with the visionary to say that, hey, you gonna keep mankind alive by leaving the planet. That's how bad it's gonna get. Hopefully not in our lifetime, but eventually, with all the nuclear weapons and all this stuff these people got, this stuff's off the chain. Most Americans don't even know that this is, possible. We got the thought that we're the strongest military and no one can touch us. All right, now you better realize there's some more players on the planet.
There's some more players, and these players ain't playing. You know what I'm saying?
For real,
not playing.
Elon Musk, what he's supposed to be worth? Like several billion or something like that?
Yeah, 13 billion or something. But his wealth fluctuates, day by day, man. Because a lot of these cats, their money is 26.9.
Oh, he right up there he almost up there with them. But Bill Gates, Zuckerberg, and Bezos.
But a lot of these cats' wealth is tied to the perceived value of their companies. You get what I'm saying? So shit, if Tesla was to tank overnight, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying he would basically drop down to, what else? I mean, it'll drop down significantly at least. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be something. So they said he's actually helping the problem in California or something I seen here in the headline.
Yeah,
helping fight coronavirus, and that's what it takes. But remember, Bernie Sanders said you billionaires shouldn't even be no billionaires in America.
Yeah.
But you got people that's helping the problem when the problem come up, but we shouldn't have billionaires.
Yeah, the CEO of Alibaba has committed to sending over
Jack
masks. Yep. He's committed over. He said he's committed to sending over masks over to the U.S.
Yeah, he might as well. Somebody got to do something because this is serious.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's gonna have to change eventually. Somebody gonna win and somebody gonna lose. How do I get on the winning side? That's the question.
Yeah.
You say they should pay tax. Who should pay tax? Billionaires? What do you say? Well, they do. They just don't pay all of their money. It still should have something to it.
Wow.
Yeah. So, like I said, that's this stuff is geopolitical. I don't want to make it too deep for people to understand, but all this stuff's connected. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
A lot of people think it's one little thing. Just that one. No, this stuff go deeper than this. All this stuff's intertwined, interconnected. The U.S. dollar, oil, all that stuff's connected.
Yep. The Saudis and all this. It's the reason why the United States is fit to send over an envoy over there to the Saudis and sit down and kiss the king. You know what I'm saying? They one of the wealthiest families in the wealthiest family in the world, man. If the Saudis decide one day we go cut the drinks off and no longer trade oil in the dollar, what type of effect? People have to ask themselves, what type of effect will that have on a dollar bill?
Let's see what they're doing in Saudi. Curfew in Saudi Arabia because of COVID-19. Didn't they just lock up some people there that's like his sons or something over in Saudi Arabia in the last couple?
Yeah, man.
Let me see something here.
That's a society that
There's some stuff going on.
yeah.
The number of coronavirus cases in Saudi Arabia jumps to more than 500. So this is a worldwide thing.
Yeah. And you got to figure
Controls
MERS.
family.
MERS came from that area.
Middle Eastern syndrome, right? Ain't that what MERS even stand for? Middle Eastern something?
Yeah.
Forgot what it stands for.
Yeah.
Eastern respiratory syndrome. There it is. Yeah, I knew it.
Yeah.
I could have guessed
and
that.
I think it's a coronavirus too, as well. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
It's a form.
It's another coronavirus. Exactly.
Yeah, it's another coronavirus. Yeah, it's just not the COVID-19 that we seeing right now. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man.
This is a game that I guess it's gonna have to fix up, but I think I'm gonna wrap this party up here in a moment. Let's see here. Somebody said, "Why is Russia not hit so hard?" That's what I said. Because I think, I think of all this stuff, like, because I know it's all connected. It could all be, a COVID war. I mean, it's already been a war anyway, whether we want to realize it or not. It may not be a physical war like fighting, but there's always an economic war. Just like they say, oh, Russia's influencing our election. Well, America's been influencing every election on the planet since I can remember. So I'm sure somebody want to affect an election here. So don't be crazy. I mean, just keeping it real and raw.
Yeah.
I mean, so I wouldn't be surprised at everybody. Yep, it's worldwide. It's definitely worldwide. Let's see here. So yeah, that's this game got to change for something, I guess. I don't know. I don't have the answer, but hopefully it's not going to be as bad as they make it to seem. But it has the potential to be worse before it ever gets better.
I'm gonna let you go, bro. You be easy, man.
All right, you too. All right. So, yep, I'm ready to wrap this thing up here in a minute. Let's see here. It was like a switch was turned on. Exactly. They flipped the switch, and that was about it. So, what do y'all think about this thing here? You think this is going to get better, or is it going to get a lot worse before it ever gets even remotely better? I think it's going to be one of those things that's just going to be wild. Yeah, in Denton, Texas. Yeah, they just closed down what they say, Dallas, Texas, I think they said. Yeah. They said Dallas. They just, ain't that outside of Dallas? Denton? Close to there or something like that? Uh-oh. This just happened 45 minutes ago, or reported 45 minutes ago. Dallas Central Market employee tests positive for COVID-19. 36 more cases. Damn. Let me see something here. Any more cases in my area in St. Louis before I get out of here and do some more woke stuff? Like I said, if anybody else wants to jump in real quick before I get off, there's a link in the description here on not on Periscope, but on YouTube and Facebook. There's a actual link in there. Let's see here. Coronavirus updates 2 hours ago. How many updates can you get? That's at the jail. Uh-oh. Oh, no, that ain't at the jail. That's the Dome. I thought that was the jail. It looked like it. A lone resident and dog crossed the street in front of the Dome of the home of the St. Louis Battlehawks. Oh, yeah, I guess they had to cancel all those Battlehawks games, too, and those XFL games. Damn. That's a lot of stuff. Think about how many things it actually affected. It affects everybody. Who does it not affect? That's what I want to know. Who does it not affect? I think it's going to get bad first. That's right. I think so, too. I don't even think we saw the worst of it yet, but I hope that this, locking people down, self-quarantining, self-isolating, sheltering in place, all of this does some thing to help here. Let's see here. Arnold, Missouri. Let's see here. A parent. The Fox School District in Jefferson County alerted families Saturday that a parent of students alerted administrators that one of the parents tested positive for the new coronavirus. And I don't live too far from Arnold. I'm like 15 minutes from there or less. Yikes. Columbia, Missouri. 2 employees at Mizzou tested positive for COVID-19. St. Louis, Left Bank Books, a 50-year-old institution in the Central West End, is closing doors to its foot traffic. Oh, I thought I was going to say somebody else. A relative of a Blues employee has tested positive for the coronavirus. So I guess there's people coming positive left and right. You might come up positive. Go get a test. Do you want a test? Would you like to be tested? Put in a 3 for yes and a 1 for no. Would you like to go take a coronavirus test? Put in a 3 for yes and a 1 for no. Would you like to be tested? That's a good question. Just to know if you even got it. Just to know. The Department of Motor Vehicles office in St. Louis City Hall will temporarily close. Duh. St. Louis Federal Reserve president argues that a potential $2.5 trillion hit coming to the economy is both a necessity and manageable. Something. Let's see here. Military officials on Sunday confirmed positive case of COVID-19 at Whiteman Air Force Base in western Missouri. St. Charles County reported its 3rd case of COVID-19. Damn. So it's really been that many cases right here in St. Louis near me. Right here near me. Are you seeing people on the street in your city? A little bit. Well, it was kind of rainy today, so a lot of people stayed in. Giving it a 1. Nobody want to take that test, huh? Go and let them put that thing up your nose and see what's going on up in there. That was like a long ride, too. I don't know if I want nothing going up my nose, touch my brain. Hell no. But I'm about to get up out of here and do some more woke stuff. We'll be going live tomorrow night talking about some real estate. My normal topics, 7 o'clock Central Time, 8 o'clock Eastern, right here on the channel you're watching right now. So wherever you're watching it at, subscribe, follow, turn on those post notifications. Give this video a thumbs up, a like, and a share if you care. Let me see here. Let me take this off the screen. Ploop. And let's see. Tomorrow night, we'll be going live right here with Kwan Miller. Just did his first seller financing deal where he turned a seller into the bank. And this is the time you want to take to learn some other ways to get you some income in because, with the Rona messing up the townships, messing up the cities, messing up these United States and the world, you want to have some other flows of income to learn some other ways to get into the game or learn some other ways to do some other things. The following week on the 30th of March, we'll be on with Real Estate Diddy out of Alabama, talking that real estate talk, how to talk the language of sellers, how to close more deals, and things like that. That's on March the 30th. The following week, we'll be on with Corey Nicole for the Newbies, leader of the Wholesaling Houses for Newbies Facebook group. Check her out. We'll be on with her on Monday, April 6th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 o'clock Central. Each and every Monday night, we'll be streaming live. And 420, we'll be on with Hakeem Valles he was a member of the Detroit Lions, football player. Now he does real estate full time. We're going to bring him on talking about learning how to personal and business brand yourself and your business, marketing tips for success in 2020. I don't know why I want to go back in time. Feel like you want to go back in time. 2020 has not been such a great year for most people. And so if you want to be notified of when we go live, all you got to do is text JV to 31996. Text JV to 31996. That'll get you the free joint venture agreement. And you'll get the notification of when we go live, like I said, on Monday nights. And also the following Monday, we'll be on April the 27th. We'll be on with O'Neill Parker, a millennial, doing big numbers down in Louisiana and down in the South in the real estate game. If these young folks can do it, what's my problem? I'm a young folk. You a young folk, even if you're old at heart. Become a young folk. So I'm about to get up out of here and do some more woke stuff. Thank you all for joining in. And I'll see you tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Central Time, 8 o'clock Eastern. Do what you do. Be who you be. And I'll see you before you see me. Peace out.
And we have Mr. I Stay Woke.